Alright, how's it going everyone? This is Wimbo. Today we're going to finish our third part of this modeling tutorial. And let's go with this part. We are going to continue to finish all these. But today's actually focus is about how to do all these buttons, which is pretty difficult to do, especially when already you build the body part. In the some of the tutorials that I have show you guys a couple ways that how to cut a hole on the surface, curved surface. And then this one, today's video, I'm just going to show you a couple different ways that how can you do that and in here. So without further ado, let's get it started. So I'm going to select this part of the headphone and hit Alt Z to go to the X-ray mode. And basically I want to select a good amount of face to cover this part off. And let's go back to the Alt Z and you can hit the 3, or you can click this one to select the face. So I can just generally select the areas that I'm trying to match this button area. As you can see here, it's not exactly match over here. What we can do here, we can just adding a loop cut to get in here and to get some geometries down here as well. So next thing we're going to do here is we're gonna do a Control R to add a loop cut. Here another one, Control R to add a loop cut. So in this way, I can actually select this face, hit number 3 and hit these faces to kind of have ideas where how far I want to go. So apparently this loop cut I added on is not really the one that I want to use, so I'm gonna hit X to dissolve the edge and do a loop cut right here. Yes, so in this way I can select, hit number 3 to select these faces together. Yeah, as you can see here, it's pretty close where we're at. So I can even further select all of these faces. Let me see, cover up the entire thing. Yes. Oh, I'm gonna hit B and use the mouse button to deselect this part. I think this should be fine. It's just basic reference, but the key point is that I wanted you guys to know how to do this type of thing. Yeah, once you select some of the faces on the top, making sure you don't use X-ray to select the bottom part of the surface. Okay, so that, then we can hit I to insert it. Go in here, just a little bit. And the next thing we are going to do is, because if you can see here, this is kind of curvature thing, and we want to have a similar curves going on rather than a square hole. And there are a couple ways to do that. That when you're working with low geometry mesh, that you can utilizing the bevel vertices method, which is I already showed you guys how to do it. There's a quick tutorials about it. You can see you can follow the links on the right corner of the screen. For this one, I basically just select the faces, but what I need to do adjust is just kind of changing the vertices to make to working with the subsurface modifier in order to really getting some curvature things going on here. So let me go here and tap number 1 to go to the vertice mode. So you can see here, I can just select this vertice and hit double G to slide, okay? And slide down here and slide back over here. So same thing here, double G, slide down here and down here. So I can see here, this is kind of like curvature going on here. Same thing with this guy, double G to select down here. Yes, double G down here, G down here. And I can even select these two, double G, just kind of come in here a little bit better. And I can select the entire thing, double G. And same thing for these guys, double G to slide it over, double G to get it that over here. Okay, so that is what we need, and we want to making sure that we didn't select the bottom part. I think we're fine, but so far, next thing we're going to do here, we don't want to go to the X-ray mode. We just need to select this face, top face, and hit number 3 to select this entire face to actually scale it. Hit I to insert it a little bit. We're gonna cut a hole right here, and then go to the side view and go to E and Z to go here to extrude it along the Z axis. E and Z, there you go, and E and Z again. And then what you need to do next, you're gonna actually to delete this entire face. Hit X and hit delete the face, and you have a hole right here. Okay, so that's what you got. And next thing is we are going to utilize this geometry to create a button. So I'm gonna hit number 1 and hit here to select this loop, and you can hit Shift D to kind of duplicate it. And then what you're gonna do next, you're gonna do Control P. Oh, sorry. You can hit a P to separate by selection. So again, see here, we are going to see another new one right here. So let me actually go select this to the object mode. So you can see here, this is the new geometry that we separated out from earlier. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna utilize this one to creating a kind of like a button shape in order to fit this in perfectly. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna hit the slash key, and in the number pad slash key, and then we're gonna go to the local view just for that, and go to the edit tab menu, and then we're gonna select the entire thing. And then what we can do here, we can actually just rotate it in a certain way, and then we are going to hit scale Z and 0 to kind of flatten it out, and hit F to fill the entire thing. And before we do anything, we wanted to Control A, actually do tap the edit mode, Control A to actually apply the all transform, and then we are going to go to the side view and hit the tab again, and hit E and Z, extrude it along the Z axis. So we are going to have loop cut and Control B to bevel, just trying to creating a button that actually at the B bevel again to actually fit into the button hole that we created. Select the top face, hit the I, insert it just a little bit, cool, and that will be good. And we can do a shade smooth, and again here. And then now we're gonna tap the number slash key again, kind of zoom it out. And the next thing we want to do is we want to make sure this origin is actually inside of is in the geometry. So we are going to select that, set origin to geometry. Now we can just kind of rotate it and grab it. Just kind of actually put the thing out in here. Okay, and grab it. Top view, I think is fit in perfectly, and it should be fine. And then you can do a bunch of things like to making sure the geometry looks nice and neat. You can even hit double G to grab it to making sure it's not that sharp compared to the original design. You can do a lot of tweaking on that. Just, you know, that's very easy to do and fix. And for this tutorial is basically show you how to solve these problems. If you want to perfecting the details, that's your call. And next thing I'm going to do here, we needed to actually cutting a big hole for this button right here. This is actually a big circle, and it's a round button. What we have here, because of the geometry that we currently build, it's more like the rectangular kind of shape. You know, this is not really perfect for this circle type of a hole. And I also have another quick Blender tutorial to show you how to do this type of thing, cutting a bevel, a vertices, do a perfect round hole and on a curvature surface. But for this type, where I'm going to just select this entire face to actually trying to hit number 3 to trying to match a good amount of that vertex that can help me to build this thing. So I think this should be fine because it's also coming with certain angles. So I'm just going to utilizing these faces to creating a circle of hole in that. So hit I to actually come in to insert it. And then sometimes most of you probably thinking, well, I need to go to the loop tool to actually make a circle. But a lot of time you see this is just become some bigger issues that it's just not there. It's actually causing a issue when you're trying to get a circle. It doesn't really looks very nice. Well, a majority of the time that we are trying to create is to utilizing kind of square shape, and then we're gonna bevel the very inside of that vertices, so in order to creating a unique pattern for circle. So what I can do here is let me see, we can actually scale it up, go back and hit I to insert it, and then let me see if I can just actually dissolve all these vertices. Here number 2, select these 2, hit X, dissolve vertices, these 2, X, dissolve edges, same here. Okay, I'm just gonna do that. And now what we left here is we just have an inside of one single vertices, and we can do something about it. And it just utilize the way that I've showed you on the other video. And I hit the Control B to bevel, but because this is only single vertex, it doesn't work anything. Then we're gonna hit the V to bevel the vertex. Now we can have bevel it, and then we just gonna scroll the middle mouth button. We can have this star shape, and then we're gonna do right click and then do left click and then do right click to actually have a loop tool open. We are going to make this as a circle. So now we can have that, and then we can scale it up, and we can even rotate it a little bit. We can change this to a normal. So I think this can actually kind of maintain the shape a little bit better. So we can do scale it up. Okay. Now, next thing, we are going to connect these dots. Here, hit J, and here, and hit J. Hit J, J. Okay, so now you start noticing, oh, these are not really a quad, it actually is Ngong. So something that we can do to help it out, so we can actually just do double G to slide it over there, double G to slide over there. We are trying to get enough quads in order to make the thing works. So let's see if I can actually get the thing right. So everything we were working over here is trying to get more quads and it fixes geometries. And this is something that I didn't show you. I never showed you in the previous tutorials. But something, you got to try to do some problem solving. There's no perfect solutions for everything, and also you just need to figure out testing how things works for you. So in here, as you can see here, it's not really working very well. So how can I fix this problem? And I want to have this issues resolved. So I'm gonna select that. And everything I'm doing right now is basically double G to slide the vertices. Definitely, this is not really like the prettiest way to do it, but you're just gonna get the job done. as best that you can. Face. And hit I to insert it. And hit E to insert it inside. And hit E, insert it inside again. And then I'm gonna hit the X to delete the face. Now we have something going on here. As you can see here, we got some issues with the geometry down here. So it feels like it's something that bended inside. So we can do something to fix it. A lot of time, we can just do double G to kind of slide it open to want to have some a little bit better geometries transitioning going on. And sometimes we also need to check our vertices to select entire with A and hit M to actually merge some vertices. See, there's something I ready to do the edge slice, trying to get it over, but this is what we got here so far. So far on the side view looks okay, but it feels like the entire whole actually is a little bit squashed in. So I'm going to shut the thing down. I'm gonna select this loop, hit Alt and click, and right now Alt Shift click, Alt Shift click. So on the side view, let's see, I can grab that, kind of get it up a little bit. And select this face, this vertices, just kind of did a slide open. And let's see, turn it on. Fix some of that. Everything I did is just double G to actually to slide the vertices. As you can see here, I noticed this is going to be an ungong. So what I can do here, I can actually just make it this thing. I'm actually use a K, the knife cut key, hit the K, do adding some vertices going on here, hit control that. Same thing here. Okay. Enter. Okay. Enter. Okay. Enter. This is definitely not some perfect, nice looking geometry here, but for the purpose of this hole, it's going to be it's going to have some sort of like the artifact here. You can certainly perfecting it when you doing the actual works, and then you can spend some time to really kind of like getting every vertices to smoothing it out and do some manipulations to get things correct. And but for now, for this looking for, and also this is kind of also a minor details for what we're trying to do, it's still okay with the method, so I'm just gonna let it go. And now I'm going to adding a button right here, so to utilize this circle. So I'm just going to adding a Shift A to actually have a cylinder down here, and this time I think 18 is enough, and I can hit scale down there a little bit, and just grab over here, and I'm gonna apply a subsurface modifier and Control 2, and then adding a loop cut, Control B, Control R to do that, and Control B to bevel it. And then hit I, scale down here, and shade smooth. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to select this circle loop. Let's see here. This entire circle loop, and I'm going to do the Shift S to have the cursor to select it, so it's going to be here. And next thing here I'm going to use is select this object and hit the Shift S again to have the selection to the cursor. So then that's perfectly aligned. So what I need to do is kind of scale it down and rotate it. Scale it down here a little bit to kind of perfectly match to there. Yes. And then again, you still can spend a lot of time to tweaking on the details. You can even adding more cut to make this thing look nice and neat. But so far, for me, this looks okay. Okay, so we are done with the two button, which is, I would say, pretty much is the most difficult part of this modeling. So basically just cutting a hole for geometry and a curved surface, and in order to make that happen. So what we need to do next, we are going to modeling this part of the body. Okay, again, we're going to utilizing the tricks again to use existing geometry. So I can hit tab, and I'm just going to select this loop, this entire loop on the side, and I'm going to hit Shift D to duplicate it, and right click and hit the P to hit separation, and we have another separate loop cut here. So we are going to utilize this one to model the rest of the body. Okay, so then we are going to go inside here and tab, select the entire thing, and hit the E, and we're just actually extruded that along the, so we're gonna change this to the global, and we're gonna grab that along the axis, so scale it up a little bit. Scale it up. And I also, same time, before I actually do something, I wanted to make sure I applied the transform and the scale. So I just gonna hit the Control A to hit the apply all transforms. Then we can do something to making sure there's not some weird geometry going on. So after here, I hit E and come back, scale it up. Okay, and hit EX, scale up here, EX, come down here, scale down, and hit R to add the loop cut here. Scale it up. Because we have the subdivision surface modifier turned on, so the best way we actually, I think, working with this type of works, I'm just going to turn on this thing. It's called, what is it called? It's called didn't have a name. Anyway, it's actually, you can see here, this is what the geometry is actually looks like after we apply our subsurface modifier. So if you're having this thing on, actually kind of, you can see that is what's going on for this. It's called optimized look or anything. So we can just utilize that when we're adding a loop cut or anything. Or we can just go inside of the solid mode to actually see this. And we are going to do another loop cut here, scale it up. Gonna slide this thing in, select this loop cut, slide it over, and just basically I'm trying to match this shape. Scale it up with the least amount of vertices or loop cut as possible. Select this one. Okay, and here's another loop cut here. Yes. Scale. And we try to have some even grid look, and even spacing between these loop cut in order to make it look a little bit more smoother. Yeah, so as you can see here, we got some really nice general shape of this headphone set, the ear part already, or you can say that that's more like the sponge type of part. And then after we've done this, we don't have any reference image to actually see how to model this side. This is kind of like our limitation. What we're gonna do, we're just going to guesstimate it, and we're just gonna to actually get this geometry to form the way that we think is going to look like. I think is actually having certain loop come in and going inside, so it has a really nice curvature on the side, so it's not directly like this going in. So what we're going to do here, we are going to continue doing our extrusion and the scale a little bit down here and hit the EX to come down here. And certainly for this kind of edge loop, we are definitely can do a quick bevel to kind of have a nice transition going on here. And then what we're gonna do here, we're gonna select the very inside of the loop cut and the loop. We can do a fill, just do a form of n-gon. I know you probably hate it, like why are you doing an n-gon? Well, it's a flat surface, it should be fine. And the next thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to bevel this loop cut, this edge. Hit Control B to bevel it, just having a little bit better transition going down here. So after coming out, yes, we can have something like this. Or if you really don't like this look, kind of get this, we can actually just gonna go inside, grab it, X, inside a little bit. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, I think this looks much better. And then we can do a quick shade smooth going on here. Yeah. Now we are basically, get this part done. And this part, you can see here, is a little bit still pretty strong to actually commit for that transition. So I'm gonna select this loop and just slide it over. This one again. Yes, just to make the feel this thing is on the side is not that strong angle, a sharp angle like that. So I think this should be fine. And basically what I need to do is we're gonna model I mirror this side to the other one. So we're gonna add another mirror modifier right here. Okay, so but we wanted to actually move this thing up to above this subdivision surface, and also although that looks okay, just simply because the origin is actually still down here. So what we wanted to do here was still want to utilizing the mirror modifier, mirror empty. So I'm gonna select this object to actually set the origin to the geometry, and then you see now it's not working. The next thing we're going to do to using the mirror object to select the mirror empty. So now we're perfectly matched to each other for the other side. So the next thing I'm going to do, because this side of the headphone doesn't have this button, right? Doesn't have these buttons. So I wanted to having these two as one unit and these two as one unit in order to really do some posing and other stuff. What I can do here is that going here, I'm gonna apply the mirror modifier, and then next thing I'm going to select this item, mesh, and then I can hit Control L to link the entire, because these are, although they're mirror, but they're two separate mesh in one object. You know what I mean? So now we are going to do here, we're gonna select this, and we're gonna hit P to separate this selection as one individual object. Hit select, and then we have the thing on. So this is one single object, separate object. This is another one. So next thing where I'm going to do is I'm going to parent these, this group these. So hit this and these two buttons. No, not the reference image. And then the last one, I'm gonna hit the headphone metal part. And as you can see here, has a kind of like a bright or yellow line over here. And then I'm gonna hit Control P to set parent to the object. So now next thing what I'm going to do here, if I'm rotate it, it's in here. It's a one single object. So everything is parenting to it. But the problem we are having is this object or this headphone set over here is supposed to rotate in this angle. It's not in there. So what I need to do here, I'm going to select this part of metal part to right click, set origin to the 3D cursor, which is actually where I want it to be currently. But the cursor actually, I thought it was correct, but actually the cursor is supposed to go directly to this angle. So what I can do here, I can just to select this circle loop and to shift S to set the cursor to this selection, cursor to selected. And then do it again. I'm gonna select this object, set origin to the 3D cursor. Now it's correct. So if I hit R to rotate, you can see here it's rotating in this joint, which is supposed to be, and I already know I actually needed to rotate about 30 degrees. So if I'm holding the control when I rotate it, so you can see here on the left hand corner, rotation 30 degrees, I can just release that. Now this thing's good. Next, same thing again. I'm gonna parent these two together. Hit the Control, actually hit Control P, set parent to object. This is the parent, and then I'm going to hit right click. Well, I'm gonna go inside here to select this loop, and Shift S to set the cursor to the selection. Cursor to the selected, and then come out and select this part again, set origin to 3D cursor. Now this guy's origin is in the 3D cursor, so if I rotate it, so it's go along with that. And again, hold Control and do 30 degrees, but right now it's minus 30 degrees, but this is what we got. Okay, so now we can just turn off all the reference image, and as you can see here, this is the model that we are apparently having this. Well, one thing I noticed that is is that the button is gone. Let me see. I think this button's probably, yes, like I said, I think the button's actually been accidentally hiding into the reference image. So I can just drag the thing into the subject, and then I can close the reference. So the button's everything is in there. As you can see here, we have some minor issues in here, and the hole looks like a little bit too big compared to what we got. And you can definitely spend some time to kind of to select this part and do something adjustment to hit Control L, and then we can do hit the B and use the middle mouse button to select this. And the next thing you're gonna do here, you hit the Control and the minus key on the number pad, just kind of deselect this until there, and then we can actually hit the scale thing to kind of actually getting something fixed in order to look better. Anything, but that's just a modeling error or something that you can perfecting later on when you're doing on own. So, but there's a lot of stuff that you can possibly done to make this model looks much better and looks perfect. And this definitely require a lot of time to tweak it, and but you got all the method how to do this modeling in order to build the thing in the Blender. And the next thing next tutorials I'm going to just show you some basic materials to how to build this headphone, and also to kind of show you how to do lightings and do a styling in order to have a really nice cool renders for your final 3D object. Okay, yeah, thanks so much for watching, and welcome to you to hang out with on the social media and the Instagram with me, and leave your comments and questions, and I cannot wait to see your final modeling headphones in Instagram. Thank you again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.